Let's talk about what was actually said, and, what was quietly admitted, inside Becky English's latest Daily Mail piece. Because beneath all the polite royal phrasing, the strategic leaks, and honestly, the familiar gaslighting, there's a story emerging that the palace doesn't want fully examined. This isn't just about Harry and Meghan, it's about control, it's about punishment. And well, it's about a royal family whose carefully managed narrative is starting to crack. First, context matters. Becky English doesn't write in a vacuum. She is one of the most well-connected royal correspondents, routinely briefed by multiple royal camps. When she writes something, it's not accidental. It's sanctioned signalling. Her article paints a picture of the Windsor's plans moving into 2026, focusing on tension between King Charles and the Prince and Princess of Wales. We're told Charles is displeased with his heir. That alone is significant, but buried in the piece is something even more revealing. Charles has also quietly stepped back from any urgency to reconcile with Prince Harry. And here's the timing that matters. As soon as Charles's health reportedly improved, the reconciliation talk evaporated. That's not coincidence. That's leverage. What this suggests is uncomfortable but clear. Reconciliation was never about healing. It was about optics. It was about urgency. When Charles believed his mortality might force unfinished business, suddenly bridges mattered. But once that fear eased, so did the desire to repair relationships with either son. That tells us something important about the hierarchy of values at work here. Not family, not accountability, but control and image management. And Harry should take note of that, because, patterns don't lie. Then comes the most telling line in the entire piece. Royal sources expressing fascination over whether the Sussexes' US ventures might fail, and whether that would force them to return to the UK with their tails between their legs. Pause there. That phrase isn't analysis. It's wishcasting. And more than that, it sounds like the goal. 6 years of smears, endless hostile briefings, constant predictions of collapse. And after all that, the fantasy remains the same. Humiliation, submission, return. Every staff change becomes proof of failure. Every business evolution becomes a meltdown. But change is not collapse. Reinvention is not retreat. If this is what a meltdown looks like, well, many entrepreneurs would gladly sign up. We're also fed the familiar contradiction. Charles desperately wants to see Harry and the grandchildren. Except there's that pesky security issue he supposedly can't influence. Except palace staff sit on Riveting. Except Charles has intervened in far less serious matters. Except Harry has explicitly said he wants one thing only, a fair, codified security assessment free from interference. Harry saying that publicly was not naivete. It was a direct challenge. And yet the blame keeps circling back to Harry for not coming home, as though safety is a personal preference instead of a baseline necessity. There's also a remarkable amount of projection happening. Failures elsewhere are quietly shifted onto Harry and Meghan. Structural rot becomes their fault. Declining relevance becomes their betrayal. Let's be clear. If not for royal leaks, we wouldn't have known about concerns over Meghan's race, background or nationality. If not for royal leaks, we wouldn't have had years of lies about who made whom cry. If not for royal leaks, there would have been no public narrative to correct in 2021. Harry and Meghan didn't start this war. They responded to it. And the apology is long overdue, not just to them, but to their children and to Doria Ragland, who were all dragged into this without consent. Here's the hardest part. I don't think Harry is blind. His interviews make that clear, but I do think he carries hope. Hope that his father might one day choose love over image, family over institution. That quality has been Harry's strength. It's what made Invictus possible. It's what allowed him to imagine a life beyond the firm. But hope can also break your heart when it's placed in someone incapable of change. You can't vision someone into being a better parent. You can't love someone into accountability. And that truth, that finality, is devastating. The idea that Harry will one day return, humbled and silent, is pure fantasy. The real story here isn't Sussex collapse, it's palace stagnation. And the more they brief, the clearer it becomes. This was never about reconciliation. It was about control. Well, squaddies, my absolute thoughts in a nutshell about this is that, sorry, Becky English, but the Sussexes are not coming back. You and the Rota will have to hike through the woods to get your hot gossip from Forest Lodge. As for the Sussexes needing to apologise to that family before any reconciliation, sure, they'll keep on dreaming. Harry and Meghan need to sue the media for comparing them to Andrew. It is defamatory. Period. So there you have it. Squaddies, and it's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this breakdown useful, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Until next time, take care and stay awesome.